Okay, we're rolling now.
Hi.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 52 of the Ministry of Freedom Show. We're calling this episode the Jim and Allie Show.
No, this is the Allie and Jim Show.
We'll debate that off air, and you'll know what we came up with when you see the final title on Tuesday morning.
The Allie and Jim Show.
It's probably where it's going to lead. So we're on episode 52, but that doesn't mean that we are a year in.
Nope.
Which was disappointing because I thought we were.
Yeah.
There was a couple times throughout this last year where we did a couple episodes in a week around Thanksgiving and another occasion or two. So our official anniversary date is November 8th. So we got a couple more shows before we celebrate our 1 year, but we're getting close. And even so, episode 52 is kind of a cool milestone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode, what we wanted to do is cover quite a few things. We're going to do a recap of our recent lives because we've had a lot of things going on that we want to share with everybody. And we also want to talk about some things from a spiritual and political perspective and give you guys some insight about what we're doing for our business lives, because I don't think that I've touched on enough of that recently. And there's some exciting things happening there. Yes, Al?
Right.
So let's go over our recent lives. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. So sometimes I record the shows early and we, as they say, put them in the can.
Nobody says that.
They do. They're in the can. So when they're in the can, we just pull them out. We schedule them for a Tuesday and there you go. So I haven't really recorded an episode in a few weeks.
Right.
And a lot's happened. So I'll go through them in no particular order. You jump in and talk about whatever you want. So I did a book signing event out at Junk Stock.
It was wonderful.
That was such an amazing day. So first off, thank you to everybody that came out.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat. I saw people I hadn't seen in 30 years. I saw complete strangers who knew me, quote unquote, from the show and the podcast and who had read the book. Hearing testimonies about people that have read the book and how certain parts of it have impacted their lives and how they've shared it with other people that was pretty overwhelming at times. I had the opportunity to sign books, to sell some books. I prayed for people out loud in front of the crowd. There were tears, people giving me testimonies of their lives being changed through finding Christ. And it was a lot more than just standing there and selling a few books. So it was a real blessing. And my publishing team is amazing. Lisa at Concierge Marketing, amazing lady. She put on a great, it was nuts, right?
Yeah.
It was such a neat day. So thank you to everybody who participated in that. That was pretty special. What else has happened? So my mom came to visit.
We did Thanksgiving early.
We did. That was something. So my mom hasn't been to visit in a while, and she had never been and seen our new home. She had never met my family. She hadn't met Allie and our daughter.
Yeah.
And that was a very special time. And she lives down in southeastern Georgia. So she was going to have a shorter stay, but because of Hurricane Helene, Milton. Sorry.
That's fine.
See, there's too many storms. So because of Hurricane Milton, she had to delay. So she was here an extra couple of days, and that was a blessing to us. So before she got here, Allie had planned this huge surprise Thanksgiving since we wouldn't be together as a family with my mom on Thanksgiving. So check out our social because we did a pretty good job of throwing everything up there.
There's a lot of photos and videos and a few funny shorts from it on YouTube.
For sure. So let's talk about a couple of the funny shorts. We played a game. What's the game called, Al?
Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity. So on YouTube and the other socials, there are some clips, some shorts about us playing the game, and it's pretty inappropriate, some of the stuff.
We're going to get a visitor.
Hey, Ozzy. Hey. Okay. Thanks for coming. So we're playing this ridiculous card game, and we are laughing so hard because there's some pretty inappropriate things that need to be said while you're playing. And my mom did such an amazing job. She's a good sport.
Yeah,
she's a good sport. So here's the funny thing about when you post stuff like that, because I put it on social, the Ministry of Freedom social stuff and my personal stuff. But what do people come out and say in comments, Al? You're a Christian guy, and
you shouldn't be doing that. Why are you saying that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we are Christ following people, but we like to have some freaking fun too, don't we?
Yeah.
Having fun's important. And God knows our heart. And yeah, there's a couple inappropriate things we might have said and probably continue to say, but it's fun. Lighten up, people.
Yeah.
I want you guys to go check it out. It's super funny. You'll find them on there.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was amazing. Allie did everything from scratch, this multiple course menu. She had us menus printed out and place keepers with our names on them and for the seating arrangements. So it was the most special Thanksgiving that I've ever had. So thank you.
Yeah.
I know something else kind of cool happened. I can't think of it. Can you?
Yes. Jim and I got engaged.
We did.
We got engaged. And I would also like to invite Machine Gun Kelly to our wedding because I'm a fangirl of his. So this is me extending that invitation.
So yes. And I'd be okay with it. I got to thinking about it. If MGK wants to come to the wedding.
I do love him.
I know you do. And maybe he could perform the ceremony.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
So we'll look into that because I'm positive he and his people listen. I know.
We are their cup of tea.
We are, yes. Midwestern conservative Christian people are right up their alley. And I know he and Megan are sitting there right now like, we want to be more like Jim and Allie.
They're taking notes, I'm sure.
They are. That's exactly right. Yep, drinking each other's blood and taking notes.
I don't believe that to be true.
So I don't even know where that came from.
You're angry.
I did get a little bit angry and hateful and somewhat jealous. So we got engaged and it was pretty cool. So here's the skinny of that. I had this big plan. So my mom didn't know, nobody knew. And so I've had this ring for a little while and I wanted to do it on the Tuesday that Allie was doing the special Thanksgiving. So I thought, okay, at the end of the meal, maybe we're having dessert and I could kind of give a speech and do the whole thing. And I had this deal all planned. So that was going to be on Tuesday. So back up a few days to Sunday morning. So we're at church with the whole family and the message at church was amazing. And our pastor, his name's Micah Eldridge at Lifegate, Omaha. Amazing dude. You dig Micah?
I do.
Yeah, good dude. His message was very impactful. And he was talking about thresholds in life. And that when you come up to thresholds, how you walk over them and through them and how important that is and to not delay and to listen to the voice of God. And are you hearing from God? And how do you discern if you're really hearing God's voice? So as I'm standing there, I'm just like, oh man, I have to do this today. This is messing up my plans. I have to do this engagement today. And I'm having this kind of this inner dialogue with God and I'm arguing. I'm like, no, got it. My plan is Tuesday. We're doing it Tuesday. And overwhelmingly he's like, nope, it's today and figure it out. And that's what we were going to do. So I'm like, oh boy. Okay. So we get home, we're having dinner. And the strange thing is as we sit for our family dinner, our little girl, and I purposely don't say her name a lot. I don't know if that's weird on the show, but
no, it's fine. She does categories. So sometimes it'll be, what's your favorite animal or what color do you like? And she chose to do me as the category. And she started with
Jim. She says, so Jim, tell us your favorite thing about mom. So I thought, oh boy, so I'm just sitting there, my heart's kind of, I'm like, so, and I've got this ring in my pocket and in like the big box. So it's really uncomfortable. So, and I just start talking about how my favorite things about Allie and our family and the life that I have after walking through a lot of storms in the last year and a half and how blessed I felt. And that just led me into asking Allie if she would do the honor of officially making us a family by marrying me. And I pulled out the ring and I opened up the ring and handed her the box and our little girl's sitting across from me. She starts breaking down, just crying. She's like, ah! And my mom is sitting over in shock and Allie's in shock. And I'm ready for like jumping up and down and saying, yes, yes, please. Thank you so much. My wonderful future husband. And now I got a crying little girl. My mom's in shock. Allie's staring at me like I'm on fire. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't say anything.
Right. So I'm like, and I'm thinking, okay, God, this is your deal. You told me to do it. And now I'm sitting here in this. And then Allie kind of comes to, and it went well. Right?
Yeah.
But for that few seconds, I was like, what is going on? So that was pretty amazing. So that was a special day. Then the next Tuesday, we did the Thanksgiving, and we just enjoyed a lot of
Love.
a lot of love,
Yeah.
a lot of quality family time. And I think my mom's probably going to be a bigger part of our lives than she has been
Yeah.
for, well,
Years.
since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was distant from her for a while. You know, I would send the text messages and, hey, how are you and stuff, and send, help her out if she needed with finances or whatever. But there's got to be more to real relationship and honoring your parents than that.
Yeah.
And I've fallen short of that. And this next season of life, I'm gonna do better.
Yep.
And I'm excited for that. So that was really great. And those of you that look on Facebook and follow my stuff, my mom's my biggest fan. She's always reposted my stuff, and she calls me Jimmy. Jimmy's book is so good. Get Jimmy's book, and Jimmy will help you. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate it, Mom. The best publicist in the world.
She is the MVP.
Yeah, she is. That was pretty cool. Anything before we move on the personal stuff?
No, I don't think so.
No. So we got some cool stuff coming, right?
Yeah.
So Allie and I don't know if we've kind of announced this, but Allie and I are partners in our business ventures moving forward. And the business ventures are secondary to the ministry. That stuff's going to come, but we want to do ministry together. And we want to show people health and fitness and Jesus and a positive lifestyle based upon personal excellence and fun and love and writing your own life script and all those things that we're about. And then we know the business stuff will just come. But we wanted to show you guys some of the things we're working on. So God's certainly moving in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
And the platform.
Yep.
So the mission's clear. I've gotten some clarity on this, especially of late. It remains freedom, but freedom means something different to me than it did when we came up with the name, a year and a half ago. True freedom comes from faith in Christ and becoming strong, fit, capable in all areas of life. And we are about helping people we call the willing do both of those.
Right.
So you can refer back to my first book and talk about the willing, and those are the people that are ready to get well, right, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Okay. My first book, I Asked God to Kill Me, still available on Amazon. Please pick some up, or one, whatever's on your heart.
Or buy it for somebody else and give it to somebody that you think might need it.
For sure. Mm-hmm. If you're local and you want to meet for coffee, pick up a book. I'll sign one for you. We can personalize it. I had fun doing that stuff out at Junk Stock. So those make great gifts. A lot of people bought them for gifts. They're like, hey, this is for my coworker and he's struggling with this. Would you make it out to Joe? And like, yeah, that was pretty fun. I've never really done that.
Yep.
So that was cool. So the first book's out there. The second book is called Suck Cycle. Suck Cycle is a program. The program is based around the number 7. I go into great detail about why that is in the book, and we'll do a show about diving into that as the release date gets closer. Suck Cycle is 7 weeks to achieve and experience true freedom, as we just talked about, by growing closer to Christ through some devotional times, some scripture studies, and being strong, fit, capable, healthy in all areas, because there's nutritional non-negotiables. There are fitness targets and daily goals that we need to hit. There's a lot of life packed into 7 weeks, and it's going to suck a little bit, and it's supposed to. That book is going to walk you through the process. It comes out November 25th. I'm told we're still on schedule for that. So that's going to be really neat. It's all based upon the number 7. The price of the book is going to be $17.77. Have I told you that?
Yeah, about 5 times.
I think that's cool.
It is cool.
That's why I keep saying it. So I think you'll get a lot of life from it. It's actually in the form of more of a workbook than a standard size 6x9 book. So you can write in it. There's journaling pages in there. There's checklists. There's places for notes. Yeah. And we're going to do this as a group. One of my visions for the book is that a lot of people would start the suck cycle on January 1st, as resolution people. This is a great one. And do it as a group, maybe coworkers, family, friends, do those things as a group. And I thought it would be really fun. I'm going to start a cycle on the 1st and do it along with folks. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like a tribe.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah, it's the tribe, and we'll have a forum where we can share experiences and questions and encouragement and things like that. There's going to be coaching options that are available.
Yeah.
We'll unpack that more as the time gets closer. But I am available to walk you through the program personally and mentor you through any physical and nutritional questions and
that you may have,
challenges that are out there. Yeah. What else are we doing now?
We're getting ready to launch a website. We're working on that.
It's true. So the website. Let's talk about the website.
I don't know. We're figuring that out, but that's going to give you an opportunity to look up questions for the suck cycle, purchase merch, that kind of stuff. We're going to get a newsletter form so that can go out to people that subscribe to that. So it's going to be really cool. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to launch between the end of November and the start of the new year to kind of give you guys a lot more information on what we're doing as far as the Ministry of Freedom show, especially if you want to get involved and join the tribe and you want to donate and you want to join the coaching program and you want to buy the book and you want to see what Jim's doing, that's going to be where you want to go there as far and besides the Instagram and the Facebook and the X, like that. Yeah. Website is going to be the place that you're going to find all that information.
What we wanted is the vision is to have a central hub for everything that we have going on.
Yeah.
So there'll be personal updates up there. There'll be a lot of pictures, probably some fun videos. As Allie said, links to all the different social platforms.
What we would also like to do, I think, is people that complete the suck cycle, I'd like to put their testimonies on there. So you get real, like you get the real person's perspective. So you can see if is this program for me because this person did it and this is how they felt, as opposed to it coming from Jim or myself. Because that's, you can hear what we say and, well, maybe they're a little bit biased, but then you can speak to someone that's actually lived and breathed it. And you're like, well, that's a real person. They struggled and they did that and they came out on the other side. Well, I can do that too. I can be them too. So I'd like to put a lot of that on there. Real person reviews.
That's good. Yeah, I'm excited for that. We are trying to have the program be about lifestyle optimization. Mm-hmm. So it's not just about, I need to lose 10 pounds and will this program do it? Yeah, it will.
Right.
I want to pray a little bit more. Okay, it's going to do that too. But we want to help you change your lifestyle. I'm not about religion or any of that kind of stuff, but what I am about is a lifestyle that is conducive to having you have your best life. And as you have picked up so far, we believe that's by having a faith life and a life that's focusing on improved physicality as well. Right. So we want to show that to you as we are figuring it out and trying to live it as a couple and a family. And you're going to see our victories and you're going to see our trials, and we're going to put it all out there for you.
Yeah.
So the church house, those of you that follow along know we bought this church house property in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Yeah, we're going there tomorrow at
9:30. Yeah. So I'll tell you what, the contractors, because we're not contractors.
You can only learn so much on YouTube.
It's true. So we have a team of contractors that were finishing some other projects. They're done with that stuff now. So now we have them scheduled where we're going to go up there and walk through our vision for renovation. And that doesn't mean we know exactly what the functionality of the property is going to be, but we know what it needs to look like initially in order to figure out the next step. So we're going to meet with the contractors tomorrow. They're going to be starting, I would think, later this week and up there wrecking some stuff and building some stuff and painting some stuff and all of those kinds of cool things.
And with them being up there, Jim and I are going to be spending some more time up there than we have been. So if you'd like to come up there and see that property, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to take you through that. Here's some ideas. This place is your guys's as much as it is ours.
Yeah, we'd love that. So if you want to send an email, so you can reach us at any of the social platforms, you can message us, but also email is social@ministryoffreedom.show.
Yeah.
We are easy to reach. if you're local and you're like, I'm going to be in Missouri Valley at 11 o'clock on Thursday, if we can make it work and you want to come say hi and hang out and do a tour of the place, here, just reach out and I'll get right back with you. One of us will, and we're going to make it happen if we can, because we want you guys to participate with us.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a good word. Speaking of social, so we're more active, I think, than ever.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it.
We are.
Yeah.
And I am a hater of social media, and I tell it to everybody that'll listen. The more I'm jacked with it, even last night, Allie's like, you got to put the phone down. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, oh, I should post this. It's funny. And she's like, nope, we're not doing that.
It's like 8:30 and
we're trying to watch. That's like midnight for me.
We're trying to watch Outer Banks. We have one more.
That's right.
Of the one that just got released. And he's like, let's go watch it. Let's go get in bed and watch it. So I got my comfy clothes on, ready to watch it. And then he's like, I want to upload all these videos onto all the social platforms. And
so I'm into it.
So then I got stuck watching football.
It was all part of it.
Braves. I don't even know.
It wasn't the Bears nor the Braves.
The Cincinnati Seahawks.
It wasn't. Nope. So
Vikings
was not them.
Go Vikings.
So it was not them either. I don't even remember who it was, but so here's where we're at. So YouTube, right? Ministry of Freedom Show is the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We need subscribers, right? Those of you who follow the Facebook know that YouTube jacked us up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, banned us.
It's just, I get it. You're banned and you violated this and that. And sorry for talking about Jesus and some conservative values and some fitness.
That was probably the most excited I've seen Jim, though, in about a month.
I was into
so happy to be banned.
I'm like, I got banned.
But not because he didn't have to do YouTube anymore. It was because he had done something to piss somebody off. Can I say that?
You can say anything you want.
To piss somebody off to make him banned. And he's like, I'm doing something right.
Yeah. I figure, okay, if I'm ticking off these folks, I'm on the right track. But we like YouTube and we want to continue to use the platform, but we need you guys' help. So when you see videos that you think somebody might benefit from, just click share, send it over to them. There's a lot I do 60-second sermons several times a week where it's just a short little message that's a minute or less. You might know somebody that would benefit from that particular message, even if it doesn't necessarily speak to you. This morning, I did one about people that are grieving and a prayer for them. I prayed over people that are going through grief. Do you know someone going through grief? Shoot it over to them. And then subscribe to the channel. A lot of times people will watch the content and not think that they need to subscribe. It really helps us if you do that.
Yeah.
Instagram, @RealJimMotes, @Ministry of Freedom Show. The Facebook, Jim Motes. The Ministry of Freedom has a Facebook. I don't do anything with it. Things get automatically posted to it, but I'm not real active on it. X is amazing.
Yeah, that's
I didn't want to do it.
Our favorite platform.
Allie, a couple Mondays ago, was like, look, you got to get on X. And I said, I don't want to do it. And I started whining about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in and do it. It's freaking fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And they're open to free speech. Not just, well, it's way too conservative. It's not. There's some stuff on there that'll blow your mind. I'm like, I can't believe this is on here. But Musk has set up a platform and algorithms to where people can express their beliefs and views.
Both sides.
And that's what we need. And that's what we need to get back to.
Yeah.
Here's a shocker for some folks. I'm kind of a Pinterest rock star.
Yeah, Jim was famous on Pinterest.
That's right.
Which is kind of a girl thing.
I'm okay with that. We're about to have another visitor. Rascal, you want to come over and say hi to everyone? Can you say something? Hi. Okay. So there's Rascal. So yeah, Pinterest, jump on that. The podcast. So the podcast is available everywhere. Please share the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. And here's where I'm going to hit you guys up for some contribution. If you're led, if you're able, if you're getting any value from what we're doing, contribute to the show. On all the social platforms, there are links to do that. If you go to the audio on Apple, if you go to the audio or video on Spotify, it says support the podcast. Click on that. There's ways to donate for as little as 99 cents a month. I created a link called Tribe Contributions that's on all the socials. It's real easy. If you want to throw us $20, that's helpful. People have been doing that. I'm very grateful for that. And I'm going to keep asking. It's not necessarily a money thing. It's a heart thing. And I believe, as Allie does, and so does Rascal, that where your money goes, your heart follows. So we want to encourage you guys to help us out. And keep in mind, we're not doing ministry to make money, right, Al?
Mm-hmm.
but we do have to bring in money to continue to do the ministry. So if it's impacting you and you want to see this continue and grow and impact more lives, help us out. Questions about that, feel free to get with us. Email, social, messaging, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
I want to talk about church. I'm
like that.
really digging what's going on at our church. I was disconnected from our church for a while.
Mhm.
It really started, it ramped up at COVID time because churches were shut down and it was really easy to watch online. But if I'm being honest, even for many, many months prior to that, I would go very sparingly, and my then wife wasn't into it. And that made me, I was just, okay, it's easier not to go and have the conflict, which I regret. But now I'm so connected with it, and Allie and our little girl are so into it, and she goes to the kids ministry, and that's been life-giving. She's got her little Bible, and we talk about scriptures afterwards. So I'm into it. As I talked last week about the Pursuit event, the show that I did with Mike Schinker, go back and listen to that if you would on episode 51.
Yeah, that's a great
really
show.
impactful.
Mm-hmm.
So we're into church, and we go to Lifegate, and it's a big church here locally in the Omaha metro area. The message yesterday was pretty impactful. So our pastor, he's a bold dude, and he says some stuff that skirts some lines, which I dig. And he speaks his truth, and he lines it up with scripture. He talked about the upcoming election, and there's different measures that he specifically brought up. So we wanted to touch on that a little bit with you guys.
Yep.
The first thing that I think it's important to mention is, Allie, and you have been doing this. So where have you been doing your research, and what's that website called for folks?
Vote.org. And then, well, I think that's the only one. But then if you type in these two measures that we're going to bring up, there's websites that'll come up that will give you the exact information.
So there's like jump offs?
Yep. But douglascounty.nebraska.gov has exactly what the measures are, and how they'll be listed on the ballot.
Nice. Okay, cool. So I need to get more involved in that part of it and doing the research on it. We did want to mention, and this is something that Micah shared with us yesterday from the pulpit, from the stage. He said, if you're a Christian person, the best thing that you can do for your neighbors, community, and family is to vote according to the scriptures.
Yeah. Have
it line up. So test various policy positions against the word of God, then make your choices.
Yep.
And I thought it seems really simple, but it's actually really profound and something that I don't think I do enough. And that should be how we're measuring things. Not, well, I feel this way this year, and last year I felt this way. That's the thing about the Bible, is it doesn't change.
Well, it's hard to do really sometimes, because how often do we choose that we want to be God instead of letting God be God?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
That really slapped me yesterday too. When he said that, I'm like, wow.
That's the hard part right
it is.
there.
Yeah. We have to let God be God. And sometimes that's going to be saying and doing the uncomfortable things,
mm-hmm.
and
listening to the Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
It's a good word. So I'm sure that people are like, okay, they're talking about politics. They're Christian people. Let's hear about abortion. Okay. So I won't let you down. I'm going to talk about abortion.
Rip that Band-Aid off.
That's it. So you're also not going to hear me say there can be no abortions ever, and you're not a real Christian if you did. Okay. We're not those people. Allie and I, and everything we say is going to be controversial to somebody.
No, you're going to piss somebody off.
Always. So we speak what we believe in our heart is true, and we believe that it does line up with what we interpret scripture.
Yeah.
First off, we are not pro-abortion people. We're pro-life people.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, I never want to speak for Allie, but from spending time together, I think we line up on this. There are instances where there's nuance in the subject matter, and we need to make allowances for circumstances that, for instance, is the mother's life in danger? That is a big deal.
Yeah.
And we need to allow for pregnancies to be terminated if that's the case, and if the mother wants to make the choice to do that. Instances of rape and incest. I don't think that it's government's place to say that somebody has to carry those babies.
No.
And I'm open to the discussion and the nuance in that.
Yep.
I do think that, and here in Nebraska where we live, there are laws in place right now that say that a minor cannot have an abortion without parents being notified.
Right.
I believe that's reasonable.
1,000%.
There's a limit. I believe it's 20 weeks in the state of Nebraska. I think that's, most people could agree that's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm not for sure on that limit. I can't speak to that.
I think that it's 20. And then again, I need to do more research. So when I'm not sure, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure, but I do believe that's what it is. So I want to talk about two measures that are going to be on your ballot here locally. And for those that are listening in other parts of the country, do your research. I'm sure it's not that tough to Google which website to go to get perspectives on different issues and measures that are being put forth on this coming November's election. So here locally, we have a measure called 434, which it's essentially keeping the restrictions in place that are already in place.
Yep.
So there's a limit on how late somebody can be in a pregnancy to have an abortion. They have allowances for parents being notified.
Yep.
I think that's a big deal.
Yep.
There's another measure. So Allie and I are going to be voting for 434.
Correct.
And that's easy for me to remember. 434.
Yep.
434.
And then against measure 439, which basically eliminates everything that 434 stands for. So then a child at 14 could go in and get an abortion without their parents knowing. It could terminate any stage of pregnancy. So we're talking second and third trimester when those babies have full heartbeats, all fingers.
Yeah.
They're an actual breathing thing. But I believe, and this is just solely my opinion, that upon conception, when that embryo has formed, that's a baby in that belly.
Same.
But yeah, it goes ahead and it eliminates all of that. And I just don't think I think we really need, when you go, and our pastor made a really good point of saying this, when you go and you vote in November, don't just close your eyes and pick a space. Really become informed on what you're doing, because what we do on that November election really impacts our future. So we just really need to be careful.
That's a good word. The other thing that it impacts is, and this is, my heart's changed on this since we've become a family, is it impacts the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Decisions that we're in that voting booth making impact our little girl.
Yeah.
And what her future looks like.
Yeah, we need to protect our kids.
We will be voting against 439.
Yep.
We are for 434.
Yep.
And we want to encourage you guys, do your research, search your heart, pray, think, discuss, vote accordingly after those things.
Yep.
It's a big deal. We're going to talk a little bit more about these types of things in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure, as we approach November 5th.
Yep.
And make sure that, hey, and if you're not going to be around, get an absentee ballot.
Yeah.
We just came up against that. We're like, okay, shoot, Allie's going to be traveling. What do we do? And so we're going to make sure she gets that absentee ballot, and we're going to make sure her voice is heard as well.
Yep. Jim's going to be a bachelor for 10 days, 9 days.
Oh, boy. That's all right. I got the cats.
Yeah.
Boy, anything else you want to touch on today?
No. But yeah, like he said, leave comments, share the show. We would like to hear your thoughts, even if they're bad ones.
Yes, preferably not, but yeah, we'll actually respond to them as well, because if it's an honest opinion, I want to get better. There was I'll speak to a couple quick things before we finish up. On Goodreads, a person that bought my book and read it gave me a 2-star review. Didn't put any real reasons why or anything. So I reached out to on that site. I just commented on, to her 2-star review. And I just basically said, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to read the book, and thank you for purchasing it. And thank you for your honest review, your rating. I have another book coming out. I'm trying to get better. Would you please give me another shot in the future and check out some more of my work? And I know I need to improve. And, I thanked her, because those things are important. We need that kind of criticism. Now, I have gotten some other criticism from a little dude that I knew from years ago, who basically was beating me up because he thinks everybody should have free lunch at school. And I said, that's a great idea, but how do we pay for that? And then he started talking about just quit building bombs and take the bomb money and give it to the schools. And I said, okay, that seems unreasonable, but maybe we could throw that on the table along with maybe we eliminate entitlements for illegal aliens. this set this guy off. He started telling me that I'm a hypocrite and I'm not a real Christian, and on and on and on. And, instead of engaging with this guy for an hour, I decided to block this dude. Those are opinions I'm not interested in. He's just attacking me personally. And I'm not going to have that. Those people are getting pruned out of my life. And if you're some sort of atheist that wants to come at me and tell me my God's not real and Jesus
the show isn't for you.
Yeah, the show is not for you. I know this. What Allie and I do, it's not for everybody, but it's for somebody.
Yep.
And so those of you who thoughtfully want to have debate, we want to do that because that's how we grow and get better.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about, personal improvement. Today should be the worst we are at everything. Tomorrow we're going to be better, right?
Hope so.
This has been really fun. So the Jim and Allie Show, as we've agreed to call it, we didn't agree to that.
No.
You'll see when the title comes out tomorrow. So let me know your comments about that and as far as who won that debate. I think you guys have a pretty good idea how that's going to go. Thank you. This has been fun. I think we're going to do more of this. My position is in my personal life and my professional life, the ministry, everything, more Allie is better. And I think you guys are going to agree. Anything to finish up with?
No.
Okay. Guys, thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.